I want to take a look at what's going on in Tuscaloosa, Alabama with the Crimson Tide. Last night came in at number 8 in the initial college football playoff rankings. They host number 13 LSU this weekend. Massive game. Their only loss on the resume at this point is to number 7 Texas. They have a win over, at this point in time now, top 10 Ole Miss over number 17 Tennessee. And wouldn't you know it, man, Nick Saban would imagine there he's just kind of sitting with his hands folded like this with a bunch of college football playoff and national title rings on his hands and just saying, here we are, controlling our own SEC destiny, controlling, you would imagine for the most part, basically your college football playoff destiny. You still have games at Kentucky, still have games at Auburn, but I think the pulse of the program in Tuscaloosa, Alabama is right where we want them. That has to be the feeling for Nick Saban. Hey, we are right where we want this team to be. And it's not a thing of you're glad you lost to Texas, but I think there was this thought after Texas that, hey, at the very least, Texas is down. A lot of people saying that. Nick Saban lost his touch. Texas is just surpassed Alabama. And if Texas can beat Alabama, who else can beat Alabama? What's going on with Alabama? They lost in Tuscaloosa. And then after USF, after that game where it was just ugly, no Jalen Milroe playing in that game, Bama was unrecognizable. Everyone's saying, well, Bama is just waiting for the Grim Reaper. Just on death's doorstep. Poor Alabama. That was fun while it lasted. The Alabama era is once again over. How many times have we heard that? And how many times do we need to realize that it's very, very seldom the case? To this point, it has not been the case. And it felt like Ole Miss, that game against Ole Miss that Alabama won, that was like the defibrillator game for them, where if the heartbeat was dying a little bit, it wasn't after that one. After that game, it was like, hey, we got a pulse. Hey, Bama's alive now. Bama's alive. You better watch out. And they've been rolling to a degree or continue to take care of business ever since. Like every single week in Nick Saban fashion, they just find a way to stay on the island that is the college football playoff reality show and keep on handling business and avoid that second loss. And the way that it feels right now for Alabama, it feels like they are in one-game season kind of mode. And historically, there is nobody better at getting his football team ready for a one-game season than Nick Saban. I mean, that's just the truth. So if you get past LSU, you should be favored in every single game that you play. And the thing that I love about Alabama right now, outside of them trending upward and them starting to play better football as a whole, like every single perceived weakness that they have, there's something within this team to offset that. Like people say, well, the offense isn't really going to be that good. Offense isn't great. Hey, defense is playing awesome right now, allowing 16 points a game, good for top 15 in the country. Well, the quarterback isn't Bryce Young, like Jalen Milroe. He has moments, but like he's not a Heisman Trophy caliber kind of guy at this point in the season. He's not Bryce Young. That's okay. Jason McClellan, at this point in time, the last 3 games, averaging 4 yards a carry. That's going to get it done for your offense. But the offensive line, like we understand the pass protection. They haven't been very good, JD. They're giving up a sack rate of like 16%. Pretty much everybody and their mama gets a sack against Alabama. Can't protect the passer. Well, Jalen Milroe, funny you should mention that. They have trouble protecting the passer. Jalen Milroe is typically one of the best, if not the best athlete on the field in any game they play, which helps him avoid that pressure and helps him keep drives alive. And heck, is probably a big reason why you have him playing quarterback right now, because of what you don't have on the offensive line. Again, things within this team offsetting perceived weaknesses for Alabama. So this isn't the wire-to-wire Alabama team that we've come to know. It's just not. We're all on the same page there. This is not the Alabama team that was number 1 in the preseason polls, and they're going to go all the way to the national title as the number 1 team. Not the case. We've seen that. But I would say this, the way they improve and have continued to improve at key spots would make me nervous if I'm the rest of the college football public. Like the secondary as a whole is a great place to start. Week 2 against Texas, we're all like, oh boy. I don't know when they're going to get that fixed, but they have issues there. They gave up 349 yards against Texas through the air. Since then, they've been giving up less than 200. One of the best statistical units in the country. Jalen Milroe, well, threw 2 picks against Texas. I don't know if he's the right guy. I don't know if he can make the right decision. Is he able to, process the entire field? Is he able to, can you have the whole playbook open with him? Is he going to be the guy that makes that big mistake time and time again? Well, since those 2 interceptions against Texas, he's thrown 3 since the entirety of the season, since that game. And one of those interceptions, to be real, hit Jermaine Burton in the chest, and then bounced off his chest into the arms of a safety. So, like, yes, he's been taking care of the football. He's improved. So the way that Alabama's continuing to climb, again, if they beat LSU, they are like Frankenstein, 1,000% alive, breathing. You better deal with Bama. No more of, can Bama get there? Are they climbing back? Like, no, at that point in time, I think we're looking dead in the eyes of an Alabama-Georgia SEC title game like a lot of us thought we would get. And going back to what I said, one-game season mode for Alabama and Nick Saban, all bets are off at that point. We're not predicting that game. We're not predicting who would win that game. I'm just telling you, if it gets to that point, we got to really start talking about Alabama going from week 2, forget Bama, they're done, Saban's done, the USF fiasco and what they didn't do and how they looked in that game, and then Alabama showing up in Atlanta and have a chance to play Georgia for a college football playoff spot if they still have one loss at that point in time, does Alabama. So I'll just say that Alabama, the poll says we got them right where we want them, and that is dangerous for the entirety of the college football landscape. If you followed this show for any period of time, you know, one, the Hard Count is brought to you by Prize Picks. So shout out Prize Picks, for the people, by the people. Daily fantasy, fun, easy, safe. Just enhances your viewing experience when you're able to, have a Prize Picks play going on in a number of different games. It's a blast. But here's what I want to tell you about. There's a Prize Picks giveaway that we're doing exclusively on this channel. Now, the fact that we're doing this is a testament to y'all, because they see what y'all have been doing using the discount code and getting the deposit match rather than the discount code, but using the code to be able to redeem some deposit match kind of play within the app there with Prize Picks. So here's what I want to tell y'all about. It's a giveaway. There's a link to this giveaway in the description to this live show. We'll also put it in the video that we put out. We cut it from this. What we got going on is essentially a free entry, and it's going to be a 5-pick flex play. So what you got to do is you put in your Prize Picks email, pretty intuitive when you click on that link in this description, pretty clearly marked out. If you click on that link, put in your Prize Picks email, and if you're selected from that Prize Picks email, from putting your email into that link, 5-pick flex play to win $1,000. Okay, free entry. So you don't put anything down if you're selected. If we pick you, you're randomly selected. 5-pick flex play, and if all 5 hit, $1,000. No risk to you. If it doesn't hit, no problem. No worries about it. So free play to win $1,000. So make sure you get your email into that link. We're going to select the winners November 8th, and that'll be announced on this live show. So make sure you're dialed in. Make sure you get after that in the link. Again, shout out to Prize Picks for taking care of y'all, taking care of us, and making this a reality. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.